All right, I'm going to show you a little bit of how the breadboard works, and then from there we can start trying to build a circuit. So the first thing I want to do is grab a breadboard. So on the side, you see all the components you have. You know, click the breadboard. So drop it into this area here. We could give it a name. So let's just say this is the breadboard. You can zoom in. So you can, see your items a little bit better. You can rotate by using the little options up here. Let's get it to looking like the vertical selection. All right, so on our breadboard, you will see that we have a lot of lines. You see all the lines are numbered. So every line has everything connected. And let's zoom in a little bit. You see that as I select one of these items, like this 1A, you see that all the circles get highlighted in green. That shows that all of those connections are together. They all are connected. And if you select two things in here, they both will be connected. You'll see that we have this big dividing line on the side. So on the other side, the F through J, there's no connection with the A through E side. We have two different sides to the breadboard. All right, so we're going to always need power. Our power, we're going to use the battery, the 3-volt battery. And usually the way we connect everything is we use these plus and minus to be the rails to hold our power. And again, you will see that the two sides are not connected. So we need a wire to connect the positive side, and we're going to connect it to a positive side on this. Usually we can select the color of the wire we're going to use. Normally we use power to be red. So I'm going to make the connection going in. And here I clicked in the middle so that I could get a nice curve. So if you want to have all your wires like neat and orderly, you can do that. Oh, I want that to be red. We're going to connect the minus. I want the minus to be black. We connect the minus to the minus side. Okay, so now we have power connected to the breadboard, but the power is not going to be connected to our devices yet. All right, let's get LED so we can see how the power works. So on this LED, because of the way I have the breadboard, I can't have it that both the cathode and the anode item are in the same row, because then they wouldn't make a connection. So what we need to do here is I'm going to rotate these. I'll just go ahead and drop it, and then I will rotate it. Now let me redraw it. All right. When the name thing popped up, that's where you could change the color of the LED. It popped up on this right-hand side. I missed that, so we'll just use a red one. Okay, so we're going to connect one wire of the LED to the ground. And then we're going to kick another wire. We're going to connect it to the 3 volts. Let's change that color so we know the ground and the positive. And if we want to see the LEDs turn on, over here we have a start simulation button. We can click it, and then we'll see that the LED turns on. Now this does do a little bit of modeling. So you see this little explanation point, and it says, it has too much current running through it. If we were building this physically, we would care about that. We don't want the components to break. But for right now, since we're just connecting it onto a simulation, let's not be concerned about that. All right, so you're going to connect items on there. Now, let's say we had a second LED. Here, let's change the color. Let's say it's a blue LED. Then we change the orientation again. Now, you can use wires on the same row to connect over. So here I made the positive volt and the positive voltage, and I'm sharing it on row 5. And if I want to, I can share the grounds. So everything on the row, since they are connected, you can connect both. You can, branch off of one to the other. Okay, so we can see how LEDs work. Let's talk about switches. We're going to use the side switches. On the side switches, you need each one of these wires to be on its own row. So let me drop this here, and then we'll have to rotate it. All right, so we need to have everyone on its own row. Let's have this switch control one of these LEDs. So I'm going to move this LED to here. All right. Item I want to do is, since I have this blue LED on the right-hand side, let me go ahead and have power also on the other side. So to get power to go across, I'm going to make a connection on the negative side on the left, and I have a wire go all the way to the negative sign on the right. All right, so the way these switches work is you have a terminal 1, you have a terminal 2, and you have a common. The common is the one that's going to be driving our LED. So this bottom end always gets connected to ground. What we want to do is we want to control if power is coming to the anode, and if power goes into the anode, it'll turn on. So this one here, since that's not that's like a logic wire, let's do that like in orange. And the way we're going to connect these terminals is if the switch you see here, it's on the up position, it's going to be the common is connected to terminal 1. So let's have terminal 1 be our positive, and we'll make that red. And then we'll have terminal 2 connect into our negative. So if the switch is in the bottom position, common is connected to terminal 2. All right, so let's turn on our simulation. We see that the switch is in the up position. We have power going to the anode. LED turns on. If I switch the switch to the bottom part, it's now the common is connected to ground. So we have ground going to anode to ground. No current is moving through the LED. You do not see the LED turn on. All right, so that should give a basic setup to how to wire up a breadboard.